Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Raja Umar on my channel RU Speaks. And yesterday we were talking about the different irrigation methods in Pakistan, the conventional methods and the modern methods of irrigation. So while explaining those methods, very especially the conventional ones, I thought that these methods need a bit more explanation. So today I thought to talk about those a bit more. So first of all, I would request you people to subscribe my channel RU Speaks. Raja Umar speaks for you for the subject of geography of Pakistan, history of Pakistan and the global perspectives. So as I want to explain that how what are the structures of these conventional irrigation methods and how do they work. And first of all, I wanna start from the conventional irrigation method, that is Shaduf. So if I show you the picture of Shaduf and let me enlarge it, and here we can see that this is the picture which shows the whole of the structure. And let me make it a bit bigger. And over here you can see that here is the well. From down over here we have well, and you can see here is a bucket, and this bucket is attached with this sling, and it is attached with a long tree branch. And here we have a structure of again the V-shaped branch, and here is the base structure over here. And we find weight over here at this end, and when this weight is released, definitely the bucket goes into that well and it is get filled. And when the weight is pulled down, the filled bucket comes out bringing water for the people. So as I was telling you that this is quite a conventional and old method, and it is no more practiced elsewhere in Pakistan. Anyway, somehow the pulled out water is used to irrigate the surrounding lands. They might be having a channel, sort of a smaller water channel, to pour that water over here to irrigate the surrounding lands on the different sides of this well. But this is as you can see that bucket by bucket, very small quantity of water can be pulled out of this one, and that is not really very much effective in usage. So what happens that it is time taking, then small quantity of water, and might be having laborious. Someone is needed to pull this weight downwards every time whenever the bucket goes down and filled up. So it means that some labor is required, and it looks like that this is the human labor required to pull this bucket out for the sake of gaining water. So it means that this is quite traditional and quite old one method, when the people were not really very much into the irrigation of the crops and completely dependent on the rainfall for the sake of their crops. So it means that this is somehow good for very small limited area. For example, if a person has just a couple of smaller fields and he cannot afford installing tube well, then it is not really very much sensible to install tube well for just small couple of fields. So in those areas, this sort of irrigation method can be good one, and you can say because of this we can have the areas where there is deficiency of water, and you can say that the water is quite less in quantity in those areas. This sort of irrigation method can be used. So this was Shaduf, SHADUF. So this is the irrigation method, and a couple of plus points are over here, and few minuses are over here. So it means that whenever it is asked that what are the advantages and disadvantages of using Shaduf in the irrigation methods, you can explain these points. So, and the structure is quite clear to you all, that how it works, and you are supposed to be with this one, that how it does work. So in this way you can explain the whole of the structure of Shaduf like this. A sling, you can say a rope, a long wooden branch, and a structure to hold on to this one to pull out the water. I mean, you can say that this is just working just like the concept of physics, that is the lever, can working as lever. Here we have weight, here we have the bucket, and this is the well, whole of that well, and the bucket goes down with the help of this sling, and with the help of this weight it is pulled out and used, water is used for purposes. So this is how Shaduf works. And now moving on to the next one, that is Charsa. So here you can see this is the diagram of Charsa, and here you can see, here is the well. Over here, this whole one is well. This is the depth of the well, and here is the water level over here in the well, and you can see that here is again a sort of structure is installed over here, a sort of pulley, rollers written over here, pulley is used, and rope is passing through that pulley, and here is the bucket. And I was just reading somewhere that Charsa means a big leather bucket. This bucket is made up of leather. So this is attached with this rope, and this one is rope, and then you can see that here the sling is coming out, and here is another pulley attached over here, and another sling is coming this way, merging together, and these are connected with these two bullock, a pair of bullock, and they are pulling this bucket out of the well. When they move, when these bullock move in this direction, definitely the rope comes up through this pulley, and the bucket comes out of the well, and filled bucket comes out, and it is the water is taken out like this, or it is pulled like this. And then again, when these animals they move in this direction towards the well, the rope goes down and bucket goes down, and it gets filled up from this water table. So this is how it works, and it is not really very much complex one. Again the same sort of advantages and disadvantages. It is again time consuming, and it is again pulls out really very less quantity of water, and it is again not really very much effective for large area irrigation, and the labor is required. And here you can see that the animal labor was required to pull out that water bucket from the well. So it means that this is how the whole of the structure goes. And again, a refresher. So here is the animal power. As I told you that the bullocks are used to pull these two slings and merging together. Or we have the rollers, the pulleys, and here is the leather bucket, what we call Charsa, and here we have that rope connected with this bucket, and this is the water table. And you are supposed to talk about, and you may be getting this diagram in your exam, and you are supposed to label it like I am explaining. So well, rope, bucket, water table, pulleys, ropes out of the well, and animals. So this is how the structure is working. So the advantages and disadvantages already discussed. Now next one, that is the Persian wheel. So here we have the diagram of Persian wheel. So this diagram has come in your Cambridge exam a couple of times. So just want to explain this one as well, so that you may be really very much clear about the usage of this conventional method. So here you can see there are two wheels. One wheel you can see here, it is the vertical wheel, and down over here is the well, and this vertical wheel is getting into the well and it is pulling out water. And we have a connecting rod underneath up over here, and because of this one, this horizontal wheel is also rotating because of this connection between these two wheels. And here is a wooden ledge attached with this wheel, and animals are tied up. Again, a pair of bullock over here, attached with this wooden ledge, and these animals, they keep on rotating on this, surrounding this one like this, making this wheel rotate like this. And you can see the buckets attached with, all these are the buckets attached with this vertical wheel. And when this vertical wheel goes into the well, it brings the filled bucket come out, and they when these the wheel rotates, and up over here, here you can see on the other side of the wheel there is a structure on where the water is poured like this when these buckets get inverted, and then the water is taken to the surrounding fields over here in this side. So again, just repeating that there, as this particular conventional irrigation method comes in exam quite frequently in the previous year, so it means that this is really very important to learn. So vertical wheel rotates like this, and buckets are attached with it, and because of the rotation of this one, because of the movement of these animals in this direction, this wheel rotates, and because of this rotation of this wheel, there is a connecting rod between these two. Because of the movement of this wheel, this vertical wheel also rotates and pulls water out of the well, and that water is pulled out, and the buckets get inverted, and they pour water over here on a sort of tray, and that tray is connected with the fields and the smaller water channels alongside the rivers to alongside the fields to irrigate those areas. So this is again animal power, and even the human power is also there. So it means that again it is laborious, and it requires a lot of labor in the form of animals, drought power, and the human power, and again limited area irrigation and small quantity of water, but more than Charsa and Shaduf. More than Charsa and Shaduf, because of the rotation, the buckets keep on bringing water out, so sufficient water comes out, but still really very less in comparison with tube wells and the perennial canals or other modern irrigation methods. So this is all about Persian wheel. So again, time consuming, animal power, and less area irrigation, these are the negatives, and more irrigation in comparison with Shaduf and Charsa, and good for those areas where no canals are available, and the areas where the fields are not really very big ones, and smaller quantities of water can fulfill the needs of the people. So this is how you can label the Persian wheel diagram. And now that is the Carré system. Here we have the diagram of Carré system, and in this particular diagram you can see that here is the earth's surface. This is the earth's surface, and it is the hillside like this, slopey land, and here is the water table underneath. Here is the water table, and you can see that this horizontal tunnel is dug out to take that water from the main aquifer. This is also known as aquifer. Water is taken to that horizontal tunnel, water channel, and vertical shafts are dug out to reach out that horizontal tunnel, so that water can be taken with the help of buckets as well from here. And you can see that because of the pressure of water has risen up over here in these vertical shafts as well. So you may say that these vertical shafts might be working as smaller wells, and here the water comes over the surface, and the irrigated fields are over here. The water is supplied to these fields for irrigation and to grow crops. As I was telling you that this particular method is in use in Balochistan, nowhere else in Pakistan, and in Balochistan, Turbat region, Kech Valley, close to it, and closer to Gawadar areas. You know, in those areas there is the deficiency of grass even for the animals, so they grow grass by using this irrigation method, what we call Carré system. So they grow grass, and they sell that grass to those people who are rearing those animals, whether goat or sheep or some other bigger animals. So this is how you can see that the whole of the Carré system is used, as there is the aquifer underneath, I mean the water table, and that water is transported being underground to prevent evaporation, as we know that there is a lot of heat over here in Balochistan region. Because of the heat of the sun, water gets evaporated, but they transport that water underneath, and when they believe that now the tunnels have reached the irrigated areas, they pull out that water over the field and irrigation is done. This is how they save water, and they are able to irrigate some parts of land over there. And I tell you that in most of the areas they have planted the date palm trees over here in Turbat and Kech valleys, and those date farming areas are really very much beneficial for Pakistan, that those dates are exported to many of the countries and Pakistan is able to earn a lot of foreign exchange. So this is how the Kare system works. So aquifer, vertical tunnels, horizontal water channel, and on ground openings to access those vertical shafts. The outlet is over here, the water comes over the ground and the irrigated areas. This is how you can label this diagram. So this is about the Kare system. And now one of the modern methods that the sprinklers. So here you can see that these sprinklers are this sort of structure, and water connectivity through this yellow pipe. A valve is installed over here, and when the water comes with some pressure, as this water is coming in this pipe through some motor, and when the water is raised in these sprinklers, the water comes out of these smaller holes with pressure, and because of the pressure of the water, this whole of the structure rotates and makes the water to spread in circles in larger areas. Mostly we see this sort of irrigation over here in the gardens. Then roadside green belts, and playgrounds like cricket grounds, wherever the grass is grown, this sort of structure is used. That is what we call sprinklers. So again, they need power, I mean electricity, to supply water through some motor, and might be some expensive structure, as it sprays water not too far off areas but a smaller region. And if this particular structure is used to grow crops, it means that you might be in need of many such structures for a smaller piece of land, so it will make the things expensive for you, but water is saved, smaller quantity of water is consumed over here, so making this effective for those areas where there is water deficiency, and that smaller quantity of water can be useful somehow to irrigate some areas and can be really very much effective. This is how the sprinklers are used, and this is how their structure is. So as I was explaining you, and I was thinking about that, we might be we were in a need to explain all these structures to you, all the conventional methods of irrigation, and one is the modern one, that is the sprinklers. So that was our today's lesson, and do not forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you so much. This is Raja Omar speaking for you for the subject of geography of Pakistan. Inshallah, we will discuss the further irrigation methods using of canals and dams and barrages in the next lesson. Up till now, thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.